down for breakfast, and I didn't actually get very far with it at all. So this is going to be a bit of a rambling kind of speech. In fact, it might just turn into an organised tour of amplified kissing. Because I've discovered that the bridegroom's chief role here is just to go around and say thank you to everyone. So, in order that I don't miss anybody out, I'd like to say first of all thank you to each and every one of you for coming, because the whole thing about weddings is, you know, when you have your quiet moments where you tell each other you love each other, but the weddings maybe Beryl doesn't but at the wedding is where you tell each other you love each other in front of everyone, and so if you hadn't come it wouldn't mean so much. So thank you all very much for coming. But then specific things, so hang on, yes, Delphi, don't run away. There's the first amplified kiss of the day. You know, I have to thank, go steady on, because not many people actually get to be married by one of their best mates. So it was lovely having Delphi to do that, and she did a brilliant job and didn't giggle once. And I was a bit worried at my night. So thanks, Delphi. Now, and moving on, Delphi's other half, Nick, and his fellow Boogaloo DJ Mark over there will be providing the music this evening, and I'd like to thank both of them for giving up time and effort. But I know actually they both love it, and so long as you all get up and dance, they won't mind it at all. So, anybody have a dance later on? Sorry, I need to consult my list. Make sure I'm getting everybody in. Ah yes. The next people I have to thank are the Gads and Greens. For a whole host of reasons, but last night they looked after me, Lois and Eddie and Beryl and David, and they looked after Charlie as well. I'm sure actually Charlie is supposed to be doing some of that, but I was looked after very well last night. And I should also point out that in an effort to drum up a bit of business for Eddie, I asked that we should have some beer supplied here today. And then the bugger went and gave it to me for nothing. So that foiled that plan. So please drink some Gad's beer. I should also point out that I've reached this age and still couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery, but at least I now know somebody who can. So that's good. Right, next. Ah, yes, next. Very important one. You'll have noticed at least the top half of me is deployed in full sartorial extravagance, as opposed to my normal bottom half here. The bottom half is so that when Dani walked down the aisle, she could look and say, oh, there he is. The top half has been supplied by the wonderful Rita, who also did the bridesmaids' dresses. She's done a wonderful job and come miles to help out with fittings and everything, so thanks a million, Rita. And time for another amplified kiss, I think. Where's Shirley? Oh, there she is. So, Shirley, another amplified kiss here. For those of you who don't know Shirley, when I first moved to London, kind of rescued me from a horrible bedsit in Kilburn, and I was kind of part of Shirley's family for a long time. Shirley is responsible for headdresses. If I call her the Mad Hatter, it's not a disrespectful term, because she makes hats and she's completely mad. So thank you, Shirley, for a million things, not just for today, for so many things. Thank you very much. And whilst we're on the the subject of Davises, I know I've got into trouble for putting down a Keeley Davis on the seating plan, but I need to thank Keeley Gunn for finding us a place to stay tonight. We wanted to stay in the Albion, but we were told that you could only book 2 nights. You couldn't book for a single night, you had to book 2. And Keeley, well, she phoned him up and gently explained that that's not how it's going to work. And when I went in there to actually drop my case off today, the woman was very, very kind. So I don't know what you said, Keeley, but where is Keeley? Come here, girl. It's time for another amplified kiss. Keeley, my unofficial wedding organiser. Oh, man, when thanking people, it's important to remember your family. And my family have always been there to help me and support me. And, well, I know I've complained bitterly about Jill and Kay running me ragged when I was younger, because they were just that age to go out with all my mates at school. So when we were young, when we got invited to parties, I'd go and Jill and Kay had to come too. And my mum would always say, look after your sisters, won't you? And I'd say, yeah, knowing full well I hadn't got hope in hell. I remember coming out of a party one night and seeing one of them swinging a leg over the pillion of a motorcycle and disappearing off down the end of the road, and thinking, how am I going to explain this one away? But anyway, when it's been important, they've always been there to help me out. And my dad too, God bless him, he's 95. I hope one day he'll be a handsome looking.